They say every driver has a route that follows them home. Every rig has a memory. And some deliveries were never meant to be completed. This is the testimony of a man who accepted a night run through the Pennsylvania mountains, thinking he was just moving freight. He didn't realize he was being moved instead. Family, this is the Dread Codex. Settle in. The road is listening. My name is Emmett Vance. I don't drive at night anymore. I don't answer unknown numbers. And I never, ever look at the passenger seat after dark. Here is why. It was February 2021. My parents had just been buried. Rain, black ice, a guardrail that gave way. My sister Cora and I were hollowed out. We left Scranton and moved into my uncle's trailer outside Gallitzin, near the old railroad tunnels. He warned me before he left for Texas, the Allegheny roads at night, they don't just go places. Sometimes they take. But grief is a louder voice than reason. The mortgage wasn't paid. The silence in the trailer was a sound all its own. The call came at midnight. A dispatcher named Dennis Vogel. Raspy voice like gravel in a drum. Got a flatbed. Gallitzin to Breezewood. Load sealed. Triple rate. Be at the yard by 1. The yard was a concrete patch lit by one flickering sodium light. My rig, an old Peterbilt with Vogel haulage flaking off the door, was waiting. But in the far corner, sunk in shadow, was another truck. An old Kenworth. Paint the color of a week-old bruise. No plates. Dust thick on the glass. It didn't belong on the roster. It just watched. I shrugged it off. Grief plays films on the back of your eyes. The first 100 miles were just me, the dark, and the hum of tires. Then, at a fueling station near burnt cabins, I saw it again. The Kenworth. Parked at the last pump. No one inside. My stomach went cold. I hadn't stopped. How was it here? I told myself it was a different truck. A trick of the fog. I wiped my windshield, breath clouding the air, and pulled back onto Route 30. In the side mirror, it still sat under the halo of the pump light. And on the driver's door, in crude peeling letters, "More traitors than saints," my blood stopped. That was my phrase. Airbrushed on the back of my sleeper cab. A gift from my father, who believed in me more than he believed in the world. I stared back, leaning out the window. The Kenworth's windshield was black, but in the reflection of my own mirror, I saw it. A face in the passenger window. A man's face, severed at the neck, resting on the sill. Pale. Smiling. Staring right through me. I didn't breathe. I stomped the accelerator. The Peterbilt roared, eating the center line. 20 miles of nothing but my headlights. Then, from a blind curve, high beams erupted behind me. It blew past, a thunder of rust and shadow. The Kenworth. As it passed, the head in the window turned and winked. I pulled over, shaking. The mountain silence felt like burial dirt. 2:30 a.m. No lights but stars and my dim parking lamps. I climbed out to check the straps, legs trembling. Cold so deep it felt like a presence. Behind me, my trailer's legend glowed in the brake light haze. More traitors than saints, a sound. Not from the woods. From right behind me. Gravel crunching under a boot. I spun. Nothing. I turned back to the cab. Again. Closer. A wet, ragged breathing right at my ear. I whirled, and the night cracked across my temple. I woke in a clinic in Everett. A bearded man in flannel stood over me. "Found you on the shoulder," he said. "You're lucky. Things go missing on that stretch. Or worse." The doctor was old, eyes weary. He asked what I remembered. I told him about the Kenworth. The face. The phrase. He went still. "You work for Vogel College?" I nodded. He washed his hands slowly, methodically. That phrase, that was Dennis Vogel's motto. Painted it on all his trucks. He ran a small outfit in the 90s. Drove the Allegheny route himself. He turned, eyes grave. Came home early one night in 98. Found his wife Abigail in bed with his best friend, another driver named Arlen Bishop. Dennis took a tire iron from his rig. Did what rage tells a man to do. The room tightened. Abigail loved Arlen. Couldn't live with what they'd done. A week later, she cooked Dennis his favorite stew. Laced it with antifreeze. Took him 3 days to die. Then, she dismembered him. Hauled the pieces in his Kenworth, dropping them in ravines all the way to Ohio. When she was done, she parked the rig in the yard, hooked a hose to the exhaust, and joined him. The doctor leaned close, voice dropping. That Kenworth never moved again. Until last night. "But Dennis is my dispatcher," I croaked. "I've talked to him for months." The doctor's pity was a physical weight. "Dennis Vogel has been dead 23 years. The number you've been calling, it's been disconnected since 1999. I left a ghost. I went to the Vogel place, a cabin rotting under pines. I said prayers I'd forgotten, laid salt on the threshold, nailed a cross of iron to the door. I begged for peace. For a week, there was silence. Then this morning, I walked out to the driveway. The Peterbilt was there. And behind it, engine cold, windows frosted, the Kenworth. In the driver's seat, a silhouette against the dawn. Not Dennis. A man with a cruel smile and a neck that ended in a ragged stump. Arlen Bishop. He lifted a hand slowly and pointed at me. I ran. Not to the police. To an old church in the hills where they still remember the old bindings. The preacher knew about things that cling to roads. He gave me a small cold iron pendant, a shackle, he called it. The truck is the tomb, he said. But the grievance is the ghost. Dennis used you to finish his business. But Arlen, his business isn't finished. He's still looking for the rest of himself. He told me to place the iron under the driver's seat, to bind the remnant to its relic. I did it last night. The cab smelled of diesel and old blood. The cold was unnatural. As I fastened the iron beneath the seat, a voice whispered, not in my ear but in my mind, "The road is always hungry. It never forgets a name. The Kenworth hasn't moved since. But sometimes, late at night, I hear an engine idling outside. No headlights. Just the low, patient growl of something waiting." This is not a ghost truck story. This is a confession. The most dangerous hauntings aren't of places, but of purpose. They are echoes of betrayal that find new throats to scream through. They offer you a job. They learn your route. They write your secrets on their skin. So listen closely, family. If you're ever offered a run with pay too good to be true, if you see a rig in your mirror that wasn't there before, change your route. Turn around. Pray it lets you. Some roads are built on bones. Some rigs, once started, never run out of fuel. If you have a story that haunts you, send it to contact@dreadcodex@gmail.com. Your truth becomes our tale. Your likes and comments keep these stories alive. Until next time, may your mirrors stay clear. May your cargo be your own. Good night.